Welcome to Toy Polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from Toy Polloi, and today is going to be an unboxing video. So I've just received this rather large, rather heavy package from Heath Walford. Now Heath has been a friend of the channel and someone that I've actually traded with quite a lot over the last few years, and he contacted me recently to say that he'd got quite a few bits that he'd like to send in, and this is what has arrived. It is a very big, very heavy box. I have no real idea of what is inside it. He sent me stuff before and it's always a sort of surprise and always a mystery as to what it is. I think today we'll just have to get on and open this and we'll see what he sent. So I'm going to get my knife out, we'll open the box and we'll take a look. Right, it's quite a big box as you can see, and I can see there's some magazines and bits at the top, so let me just pull those out and take a look. There's also a note. Let's have a read of this. So it says, "Hey Dave, encloses the Starbird bits I had to spare." Oh, that's great. We've been talking about that. I do have a Starbird that needs some repair, and he said that he's got a replacement part that is something that I needed. And if you've actually watched some of my recent videos, I did actually manage to pick up a Starbird at a recent flea market. So hopefully I should have all the parts that I need for that restoration. So he says, hope these will be of useful to you. There's always going to be useful. I've also added lots of random stuff to make opening the box a bit more fun and hopefully surprising. It's also a nice way of saying thank you for the years of great content and tips on your channel. Cheers, Heath. P.S. Look in the travel mug. Ooh, okay, let's see what's inside this then. So first up, we'll have a little look in here. So we have got at the top, this is the Star Wars Technical Journal. Oh, lovely. I like books like this. They're full of great old images of Star Wars, sort of shots from Star Wars, and this one's got blueprints and everything. That's fantastic. I think that's a bit of bedtime reading there. Really nice. When's this from? This is looks like a fairly old book. Does it have a year on it? It doesn't appear to on there. Maybe it's got something inside just to say when this was produced. Oh, 1995, so that's a good 25 years old when they used to make nice, good books like that. Lovely. And there is one other book there. Let me see what that is. This is the TV Cream Toys book by Steve Berry. Again, looks absolutely full of pictures of old toys. Oh, some Boglins there. That's really cool. I like that. Again, another bit of bedtime reading. Oh, and some Transformers at the back. There's Optimus Prime. Very nice. Right, for the rest of the box, I think I will tip this all out and then we can open it sort of bits individually. These are the first few bits from the top of the box. There's actually too much to sort of put onto my desk here. This is a Star Wars Galaxy Topps trading card box. Look at that. It's relatively modern, I'm going to say, just by the style of it, but it's full of trading cards. That's really cool. I've started getting back into trading cards recently, and these look like quite good fun ones. Oh right, it's nice sort of concept art and things like that. Oh, those are really cool. I don't think I've sort of remember seeing those. I wonder what year this was sort of from. Again, on the back it says 1993, so sort of when the sort of special editions and no, I think the special editions were a bit later than that, but certainly sort of when Star Wars was not having a heyday. Oh, that's really cool. There's a whole pile of trading cards there. I'll have a good browse through those. It's very nice indeed. Then we have a plastic bag. What's this got inside it? On the front of it, that's a badge from Captain Scarlet, the pin badge that's been pinned to the front of that. I think that's a Spectrum or something, isn't it? That stands for. Cool little Jerry Anderson. Yeah, that is Captain Scarlet. Then we have of other bits in here. We have Star Wars Age of Rebellion comic from what year is that from? I always like to know the years on these things just to sort of see what time scale we're looking at. It looks fairly modern because that advert on the front is 2019, but a nice little comic there. Give that a read. Oh look, and we have the instructions for the MB Starbird. this is what Heath and I were sort of discussing. He said he got some bits to send me. So there's the instructions for the Starbird, and then this, which is the target. The Starbird sort of has electronics in it, and you can fire it at a target. I have actually done a review of it, so I'll put a link to that video in the description of this one. But that is the target. The one I had is all battered and worn, so that's a very nice version. So I can replace my tired and battered one with that. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much. And then in here, what have we got in here? It sounds to me, having owned Starbird, like this is the sort of plastic inner packaging for a Starbird, which it is. So here you go. This is the remains of a Starbird with a whole load of other bits inside. I'm going to move those out just for a second so you can see this is a Starbird. And the one I have has quite a lot of damage to these sections here where the little wing sort of ship's attached to, and he'd said that he had a spare one that he was going to send over so I can use this to sort of fix up the one I have. And it's just the way these things go. I went to a flea market at the weekend and I also found one in, I don't know if it's in quite as good condition as this, but sort of much the same. So I'm going to use bits of both of these to make mine look really nice again. I also need some of these lights because I have the Starbird Intruder, which is the black version of this, but it's missing bits on the front. So I'm going to use some of this. So that's great. Thanks ever so much for that, Keith. There's also a little R2-D2 there, which looks like it's from the cartoon series, just by the styling of it. And then we have a whole bag of bits and bobs. In here we've got some cards or coasters maybe from the Solo movie. I never actually saw that movie. I know a lot of people are going to say, why didn't you see that movie? I'm not a fan of some of the modern spin-offs. I like the old movies, so I've still yet to see Star Wars Solo, so I thought those look pretty cool. And a whole bag of, looks like modern Star Wars weapons and pieces like that. So lots of weapons and little minifigures and missiles and all sorts of stuff in there. Always useful to have bags of weapons. And then this, well, these are Mego figures, or bits of Mego figures. That is Tom Baker's head, so I'm guessing that's Doctor Who Tom Baker's head. Looks like it could be an original one. And then we have a, this is Robin, but it looks like he's on the wrong body. That looks like a 12-inch scale body because it's the size of the boot. So it's a 12-inch scale Mego doll with a tiny little head attached to it. So maybe that is the head that goes on there. So a very interesting combination of broken Mego parts, but always useful to have. Next up, a few things I just pulled out of the box. This is a sort of vinyl version of Han Solo. I remember when these came out, these were sort of early 90s, again in the sort of when the Star Wars wasn't particularly sort of having a heyday, shall we say. They made quite a few of these. So there's Han Solo in Stormtrooper outfit. There's a sort of die-cut plastic Millennium Falcon printed on some very sort of day-glow perspex. I'm guessing that could be a coaster or a mat or something. Pretty cool. Then we have another book. This is Game Over, the games we love to play and the consoles time forgot. So it's the history of old games and that. That looks like a pretty interesting read as well. I have quite a history in computer games, but I'll save that for another day. I'll give that one a good read as well. And there was this small pack of cards. These are G.I. Joe Miss and Search and Destroy from 1993. So these are sort of images of toys in... are they toys or is this a TV show or something? I don't remember this at all. But sort of action shots from... oh, it must be a TV show, live action sort of thing. I don't remember that at all. That's intriguing. So a whole selection of cards from a TV show. I've now got to go and do some research and work out what it is. Very nice. And here we have a Space 1999 20th anniversary little drink container. And he said in his note to have a look inside that. So let's see what is inside that. Ah, look at that. That is part of a wrist racer. This is the car from a wrist racer. I do actually really sort of like little wind-up cars and things from the 80s and the 90s, and this is a wind-up wrist racer car. Most people remember the Dukes of Hazzard, General Lee and Roscoe's police car as the sort of the main wrist racers, but before that they made these little chrome versions, and these seem to be much harder to find, I think, because everybody remembers the Dukes of Hazzard ones, but this is the sort of gold and chrome version of a little wrist racer. It doesn't feel like the engine works, but the actual chrome of that is in lovely condition. I've quite a few of these in my collection, so that's going to go with those. Very nice indeed. And then we have this load of bubble wrap, which is, it looks like it's something that holds drinks in, but Heath has absolutely sort of rammed it full of toys. So let's pull these out. So there's a little funny spongy Slave 1. That's really quite sweet. I have no idea what that's from. I'm guessing it's some sort of kids, well, sort of baby's toy. That's really cool. I like that one. And we've got more things in here. So we have, this is a little McDonald's, I'm going to say, wind-up bopping milkshake thing. Very strange. Don't remember that at all. Undo this. This feels like more trading cards. I'm going to have piles and piles of trading cards to read through. So what is this? Trading cards for Independence Day. Look at that. I've fairly recently reviewed a load of the toys from Independence Day. It's one of those films. I don't really like the film, but I do like the style of the toys and the sort of the figures, and I picked quite a load of those up. So those are pretty good. There's a full sort of pile of trading cards there from the movie. Go in here. That is the Imperious Leader from Battlestar Galactica, but without his cape. So there's a prime job for a future video, is to make a cape for the poor naked Imperious Leader. Without his cape, it's a very odd figure, but even with his cape, it's an incredibly odd figure. Just a very strange looking toy, and hard to believe they would ever make something like this, but they did. So very strange indeed. And at the back there, let's pull that out. I recognise this. It's not a toy line I've ever had, but I do. There's some stickers on my website if you want to sort of repair these toys. These are Robo Force toys. This is the first one I've ever actually had. Very strange looking thing, sort of weird robot with little rubbery arms. I can't actually remember when these were made. I'll just see if I can read on the back of that. Looks like 1984 by CBS Toys. It's a very strange looking thing, but yeah, not one that I've ever owned. I really do quite like that. It's got a strange look to it, very, very sort of dated sci-fi look, but yeah, that is really very nice. I've never owned one, but I think that is going to have to go on display here because it just looks so cool and so weird. Yeah, certainly going to have to look into that a bit more. Move on to the next one. I can see some more trading cards here. We have a few trading cards. I recognise these because I did buy a few of these front ones. I think they're called The Journey to the Force Awakens. Oh yeah, Journey to Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So I did actually buy a few packs of those. There's a few of those there. And then some other older looking ones. These are from '97. These are Merlin cards. Yeah, pretty cool. They will go in my box of trading cards. I probably don't have most of those, so we'll add those to my pile. Then this is a figure of Watto from episode 1. What have we got in here? Open that up. Oh, Transformer. I don't know what the name of this one is. I did used to have this. It's quite a cool toy because you sort of join it together to make the figure. It all sort of flips up and these bits join together. So it's two Transformers that join in to make one. I'm going to say it's probably called Warpath or something like that. It's definitely not Warpath because that's another figure, but I do remember this one. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Not one I actually have, so I'll give that a bit of a clean up and go on display in my collection. Then we do a couple more bits here. Oh, that must be the helmet for that PVC Han in Stormtrooper outfit. And then this is a Thundercats figure. If I could only remember their names, but these are made by LJN, so they have that cool hand action where you push a lever on the back and their hands sort of move. Oh, I can't remember his name. I used to watch that cartoon absolutely loads, but I just can't for the life of me think what his name is. but very nice. I don't have many Thundercats figures, so he will go with those. And then we're on to the last little bit of the stuff here. So we have a fairly modern looking Princess Leia. I think this is from a computer game or something like that. It doesn't have a date on it, but it's Lucasfilm. So oh yeah, Disney Infinity, that's right, it is from a computer game. So it's a sort of stylised version of Princess Leia. I actually quite like the look of that, it's quite a nice sort of styling to her. And a few more bits in here. Oh, more Transformers. We've got part of, this is Menasor, one of the Stunticons, I can't remember his name, but that's one of his vehicles. And then the wing pieces, and quite a few wing bits for, I think that one's Thrust. Always useful. I've got lots of Transformers to rebuild, so always useful to have parts like that. Move that out of the way. And then the final piece. Oh, well, there you go. Here is the rest of, I'm going to say Thrust, but I might have to look that up because I can't always remember the names of the Transformers properly. So there's the remains of 2 Thrusts there. I think we can probably rebuild those. Those look in pretty nice condition. They've got their nose cones and everything, so very nice indeed. So I need to say a massive thank you to Heath for all these wonderful bits and bobs. I will be sending Heath some Toy Polloi goodies. I know he actually has quite a lot of them because I've sent him in the past badges and stickers and all sorts of things. So luckily I do have some new Toy Polloi notebooks, so I'm going to send him one of those. And I have some new design badges on order, and as soon as those get delivered to me, I will be sending him one of those as well. But yeah, massive thanks to Heath for sending this stuff over. It's always a joy to actually sort of rummage through these things, and I get to see things that I've never sort of seen before, and things that I would be unlikely to pick up, and certainly things that I'm going to be investigating and maybe I'll also be able to cover in future restorations. The RoboForce figure is probably the most intriguing of the lot here because I just don't remember them at all, but I really like the stylings of that. It's a very strange looking figure, but I do love it. And of course, extra Transformers. I'll be doing more Transformer repairs in future, and also I'm going to be getting on to fixing up my Starbird and trying to get that all working. So some really nice useful sort of bits here, and interesting things to add to my collection. So thanks again, Heath. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy Polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow Toy Polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.